Welcome to the fifth dimension with your podcast and newsletter, 5D Metamorphoses. I'm Ellen Mouton, mindfulness teacher, spiritual guide, and finally, guided meditation and sound therapy artist, specializing in emotional release. To find out more, links are in the description below, or you can visit ellenmoutontv.com. Today, our podcast is called Why and How Falling in Love Can Solve All Your Problems. Who has never been in love? You know this feeling of spaciousness, expansion, inclusiveness, beauty all around you. The birds are still singing, but this time you can hear them. This time you can see the beautiful sunset. You can even feel it. That is why teardrops sometimes come. You feel high and energetic. You dream about this person you are in love with. And you even forget about eating because you no longer need it to feel better. You have love now. You don't even remember what was wrong in your life just the day before. Problems? What problems? It seems that all have disappeared. Does it sound familiar to you? That is what is heaven on earth, and you are the one who has created it. How did you do that? When you are in love, the person and your positive imagination on her or him triggers chemistry that the brain releases. But the brain releases hormones and molecules depending on the situation that you offer. For instance, if you are in danger, let's say an animal tries to kill you, the sight and the smell of it triggers a series of chemical reactions through the brain that releases stress hormones. The simplest explanation is that these hormones make changes in your system so that you have enough energy to either flight or fight. When you are in love, the hormones that the brain releases are happy hormones. And that is why you feel high, good, and energetic. If you feel angry or anxious, for instance, as a response, the brain will release stress hormones and you will feel bad and low. Why does love end? The reason why love ends is not that it comes and goes, but rather because our attention to the other person or the relationship itself is gone. Before we meet someone, we have a pretty normal life with our struggles, pain, suffering, feelings of loneliness, boredom at work or at home, lack of money, lack of time, and all sorts of difficulties. When we fall in love, our problems don't leave, they just fade away because our attention is focused somewhere else. We have better to do. When we are in love, our being is nicely hijacked and nothing else counts. However, when the honeymoon period, as Professor Bruce Lipton, author of The Biology of Beliefs, calls it, ends, these difficulties that we had before we meet our partner come back at the front. Indeed, at some point we have to leave the dream state and come back to our reality where struggles catch up with us. Then we change our behavior, our response to the other person. It creates misunderstanding and suffering. We react to each other's pain and not to our true selves anymore. The end of the story, you know. To keep the flame alive, we would need to put much more attention and work onto our partners and onto the relationship, very much like any of our projects. Usually, we don't do it because we don't know exactly how. We never learned relationships, and many people don't think there is anything about it to know. However, love is not a question of good luck to find the right person. We create love, and love can be created between many people. The resistance we have is due to our own struggles and own perception of life, not because of a person. Not all women are like this, and not all men are like that. But if we think we can meet a lovely person with such a state of mind, no wonder we never get to meet them. How to recreate the falling in love effect? The way our brain is wired has to do with our emotional offering of the moment. So, to recreate falling in love within us, we must do the same things that we were doing when we fell in love. Behave the same way, see life the same way. It is easier said than done when we don't have in front of us the one that triggered this loving state in the first place. Relationships are largely romanticized by the media, but in reality, we are not meant to live happily forever after with someone. This is a story that we have been told, that we bought because it really does sound good. Many of us feel lonely, and the idea that we could be two against the world has always worked. We don't need to be two against the world, because the world does not need to be fought against. Living on earth can be heaven if we choose to. Moreover, as many of us know, being two is not a formula for success and happiness. Who never felt lonely even with someone in their lives? What we are looking at is not to absolutely find a partner to experience love, but to decide to experience it regardless, just because it feels so good, and also because it can resolve so much of our struggles. Love being experienced only in a couple is part of the story we have been told by the collective. In reality, true love is unconditional and is an inner experience. Not only a partner should be able to trigger it. A partner is only a mean to create the chemistry, but we don't need that mean. We can create the feeling of deep love within ourselves at any moment. In our culture, love is conditional. It means that even if we love somebody, but he or she doesn't love us back, we are suffering. And we call it non-love. Why? Whether the other person loves us back or not, we are the ones that feel love, and the feeling of the partner has nothing to do with our choice to love or not. Unconditional love means that no matter what, you choose to love genuinely and authentically, and not in response to another being's perception of you. But again, society taught us it should be reciprocal. If you love me, I will continue loving you. Does it sound realistic to you? To recreate love in your life, choose to love everyone and everything without expecting anything in return, just because it feels good. How can love solve my problems? If we suffer a lot, it is not because of what just happened to us, but because of the extended story that we have created around it and that we keep on telling ourselves. The bad stories of our lives often started before and sometimes long before, many years and even decades ago. We still keep on talking about it, so it stays active in our energy field, in our life experience. How is that important? It is crucial to integrate that the brain triggers a chemistry that depends on our thoughts and therefore our emotional offering. If we are happy, we project good vibes and the brain matches it with good hormones. On the contrary, if we are upset or angry, we project bad vibes and the brain will release, as we saw earlier, bad hormones such as the stress hormone. The problem is that vibes attract vibes of the same offering. That is why if you feel unlucky because you have been attracting a lot of negative experiences lately, it is most probably because emotionally you are not in harmony. Something is bothering you, someone is bothering you. In other words, life bothers you. Your vibrations are more often low than high, and so you are a target to other low vibration experiences. You can experience the loss of someone and the loss of your job in the same period. Unfortunately, it will continue to strike you as long as you stay in this level of vibration or in the same emotional state. If you tune to the vibration of joy, peace or love, you will be a match to this kind of experience. Love is probably the easiest emotion to train on feeling because we can imagine someone we loved to recreate it. You can also feel love when you do manifestation work. Imagine your ideal partner, writing about her or him, thinking about her or him, visualizing the kind of experience you would like to live with him or her, and soon you will feel sensations and emotions that we feel when we fall in love. Excitement to meet a new person is also very efficient. Being grateful by advance for what you may not have yet, but you can pretend to already have it in order to feel the vibe that your brain is going to match with the right kind of chemistry that, after a while, will manifest all sorts of positive experiences and opportunities and resolution of struggles in your life. So don't wait to meet someone to benefit from love hormones in all areas of your life. Love everybody and everything and see life as new every minute and fall in love with it. That is how you will resolve your problems. I'm Hélène Mouton. To find out more, links are in the description below, or you can visit HélèneMoutonTV.com.